again, YouTube family. Thanks for joining me on this episode. In this episode, I'm talking about the revenge of coronavirus. The Delta variant is starting to really have significant impacts around the country, particularly in states that have low rates of vaccination. In this episode, I'm focusing on Mississippi. It's one of those red states. People support Trump wholeheartedly. They listen to the idiots like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, who play down coronavirus, who play down vaccines, who vilify vaccines, who vilify the scientists who tell you, well, you need to get a vaccine. And as I'm doing this, there are 7 children in Mississippi who are in intensive care units battling COVID-19. 2 of the 7 children are on ventilators. 2 of the 7 children are on life support in intensive care in Mississippi. The children who are on who are in intensive care range from under 1 year old, one of them was like 8 months old, to 17. Mississippi state health officials are warning residents of a Delta variant surge that, as I said, is happening around the country, particularly in states like Mississippi that have very low rates of vaccination. According to Johns Hopkins, Mississippi has one of the lowest vaccination rates. The chairman of the Board of Trustees at Mississippi State Medical Association told CBS there are 2 choices: get vaccinated or you are going to get COVID. That's pretty much the way it's going to go. You're going to either get vaccinated or you're going to get COVID. Perhaps you'll be one of those people who are asymptomatic, who don't get sick from COVID. However, there's always the chance, even if you are asymptomatic, you will pass COVID on to your parents, your grandparents, your children. Hospitalizations are on the rise from the Delta variant of the coronavirus. 99% of hospitalizations now are the unvaccinated. If you are vaccinated, there is a very low risk of you getting sick from coronavirus. There's a very low risk of you dying from coronavirus. It's pretty much non-existent among the vaccinated. Johns Hopkins COVID tracker shows Mississippi has more than 325,000 cases and over 7,500 deaths since the start of coronavirus. And this is a state with a population under 3 million. This is a low population state. Dr. Alan Jones of the University of Mississippi Medical Center said his hospital has seen an increase of pediatric patients, child patients. It is possible that the Delta variant is importing more severe illness in the pediatric population. That is, possibly as this virus mutates, it is becoming more dangerous to younger ages, particularly pediatric ages. Hospitalizations have doubled in Mississippi since July 4th because it's America. We still have super spreaders going on because now there's a vaccine and you have states getting rid of their mask mandates. You have states allowing businesses to be open 100%. And so people are like, oh, okay, it's over. We're through. No, it's nowhere near over. We're nowhere near through because too many of you are not willing to do what we need to do to get through it. It's that simple. Most of the illness increases and hospitalization increases are avoidable if people would just get vaccinated. The Mississippi governor, Tate Reeves, has made recent statements about the situation for those who opt not to get vaccinated. I personally don't think that is a good choice. That's a statement from the Mississippi governor. He also pointed out that the surge in hospitalization is driven by the unvaccinated. According to Johns Hopkins data, states that have fully vaccinated more than half of their residents are seeing 1/3 of the hospitalizations of states that have less than half their population vaccinated. That is, states that have above 50% of their population vaccinated are seeing 1/3 of the hospitalizations from people who just have less than half vaccinated. That's how significant getting the vaccine is. It is absolutely insane. And here is a tweet I wanted to share. And it is pretty much all cases in Mississippi are Delta variant right now. Vast majority of cases, hospitalizations, deaths, unvaccinated. 7% of deaths in vaccinated. Worrisome. We are allowing too much circulating Delta to reach our most vulnerable populations. And here you have on the left column cases. The dark blue is not vaccinated. The blue-green is fully vaccinated. So out of the 4,417 cases, you have a very minute number that is of the fully vaccinated. Same thing with hospitalizations. And then with deaths. There have been 4 deaths in Mississippi of people who are fully vaccinated. And as people have tried to point out, I'm going to point out in a subsequent video I'm going to do on Marjorie Taylor Greene's ridiculous press conference she had. That's a different video, but there's the 4 deaths. 4 people in Mississippi who have been fully vaccinated have died. As a lot of people will point out, that does not mean they died from the vaccine. It can be that, your 92-year-old grandmother got the vaccine. 2 months later, she died of natural causes. That's not she died because of the vaccine. She died of natural causes. She died of old age, like all of us are going to eventually do. But she will go into that category of someone who died who was fully vaccinated. If you get the vaccine and then you end up in a car wreck and die and you're only 40, you're going to go into that number. You're someone who died who is fully vaccinated. And they're keeping track of those hard numbers, although those numbers do not indicate that the vaccine is killing these people, just that this is how many have died who are fully vaccinated. And we have plenty of ways in this country for people to die. People die all the time. But you have this crazy right wing who is pro-life, yet they seem to have no ability to prove it. They cannot prove they're pro-life because of this. They will let kids die for their idiotic right-wing political principle. This whole idea of, I'm not getting the vaccine on principle. These people would rather let kids get the virus and get sick, some of them die, than just get vaccinated. Than just do the smart thing. And this is not all right-wing people. This is not all Republicans. You have plenty of Republicans. I'm sure there are plenty of Republicans in my family who are fully vaccinated. Because even though they lean right politically, they're not morons. They're not dumbasses. They'll go get vaccinated. That's the thing. They're not that idiotic. We have a situation where there are too many on the right defending the stupidity of the others on the right. And these people are the ones who are causing the problem. It's the crazy right-wingers who so desperately wanted to get rid of mask mandates, who wanted everything opened up, the economy, the capitalist machine living and breathing and continuing on to make lots of money. But they're not willing to do what we need to do to actually make that happen, to make it work. And there's another video I want to do on an MIT study from the year I was born, 1972, where they predicted that American civilization would collapse by the year 2040. And a big driver of that in their study in early 1970s, 1972, a large driver of that collapse they predicted from the work they did was climate change. But you have this kind of stuff. We have this crazy virus that's gone around the world, and it's still playing hell with other countries. But us in America, where, I mean, right now, if you are unvaccinated, you can drive to Walmart, to Walgreens, to just about anywhere and get vaccinated. You have a president, and I get it, if you're right wing, you didn't vote for him and you don't like him being president. But he had a plan of putting together people going door to door, offering vaccines for the unvaccinated. And you had Marjorie Taylor Greene's dumbass compare that to Nazi brown shirts. This was not the president was going to have people going to door to door forcing you to get vaccinated. It was an offer so that we could shore up that lazy portion of the population, the people who don't want to get the vaccine because they don't get off the couch. We'll take the vaccine to you. I mean, I'm not a particularly huge fan of Joe Biden, but some of the things he's doing are just intelligent. Some of the stuff he's doing are just the right things to do. And something like that is really a great plan. Take the vaccine to people. Take it to them and say, here you go. Would you like to get vaccinated? This virus is killing people still because we can't get beyond it because too many people are unvaccinated. We don't show you having been vaccinated. Here's your chance. We're at your house. We'll stick the needle in your arm. 3 weeks later, we'll come back. Stick another one. You're done. And it's this craziness of idiocy combined with ignorance fomented by constant misinformation from the right-wing news media, from right-wing politicians, and the country is kind of reached a plateau. We're not getting vaccinated beyond here. And it's going to end up causing some areas to need to shut down again, to certainly start masking back up again. I know California, the LA area, because of the surges they're seeing, they're starting to put masks back on. My mother and sister live in Kentucky. She said the governor was recommending people wear masks again because of the fact that Kentucky is still a low vaccinated state because it's so red. They have a Democrat governor, but it's a very red state, and it's surrounded by red states. And so not only do they have their population that's unvaccinated, but they have the unvaccinated populations of neighboring states that will be passing through and spreading the virus. One of the problems with this virus is if we allow it to continue to exist and to continue passing from person to person, to continue mutating, we don't know exactly how bad it's going to get. We don't know what the worst of the coronavirus is. But we have this chance. I mean, in this country, we're fortunate. There are countries who are dying to get the vaccine. Pardon the pun. But they don't have the vaccines available for their population. Here, because this country is so wealthy, we have the vaccine. And people are like, yeah, no, I'll just let people die. Because I'm pro-life. Republican, baby. It's idiocy in the highest order. And they're deluded, self-righteous morons. And I get it. I'm being mean. People's feelings might get hurt. I don't care. You're killing people. You've got blood on your hands at this point. People in the right-wing news media, they've got blood on their hands. There are people going to die because they listen to their BS. There are right-wing politicians who have blood on their hands because people are going to listen to their BS and die. And that's serious. And maybe you're someone who's not been affected by COVID. You don't have any relatives, friends who have gotten sick, no one who's died around you, and you're like, it's not affecting my life, so I want to be able to go to the movie. We are such a selfish, greedy country. And, I support a lot of social programs to try and make this country a better place. I don't know that we can get beyond our greed and our selfishness to ever get there. I don't know if we can. Hopefully these younger generations who aren't as ideologically hamstrung will help us get there. That's my hope. But that's my video for today, and please, if you like my videos, give me a like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the videos, to the channel. And as I said before, I've been working a lot of hours. I've not been posting as much on my days off. I try and put together videos to do. I'll spend a day doing the research, doing the piecing things together, and then another day recording and get some videos made. But please give me a like, give me a subscribe, and by all means, have a good day. Thanks for watching.